Evening, guys. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Whether you're watching this now or whether you're watching this in the future, up to you. Either way, I hope you're doing well. Anyways, not the point. The point is today we're going to be doing some more development on No Place Like. While we were away in the off season, or whatever you want to call it, off day, off weekend, I finished off what we were working on last time, the extracting the character logic into its own class and then making it all a lot more modular and a lot better to work with moving forwards. And I thought we could start tonight's stream by doing the same kind of thing, but only with the level logic. Because not every... I'm thinking we can make a generic level class that then we extend from instead of extending directly from the scene class, and just have some preset configuration stuff and just make it, again, more modular. So anyways, that's what we're doing tonight, so let's get at it. And I don't really need that. Yeah, so right here, abstract level logic into its own extendable class. We've already got an issue for it and everything. Good to go. Just gonna get the Twitch chat up on my phone. And how do you do that? There you go. Alright. So, yeah, let's get to it. First things first, I guess I need my editor open. That would help. VS Code for the win! Just picking my nose off camera, don't worry about it. Anyways, whoopsie daisies, that's my project. Cool. So here indeed is our first scene in question, the Africa camp scene, as we're calling it. If that's really what it's actually going to be, who knows, but don't really need this stuff anymore because I don't think we're using that anymore. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on, this isn't the latest. I'm not working with the latest code. That'll never do. How am I not working with the latest code? I thought I was on master. Let's see here. Welcome, viewer. How's it going? Alright, let's see. I am on master. Apparently I'm up to date. That's disconcerting. I merged that in, right? Probably check that, shouldn't I? You know what? I don't know that I merged that in. I don't know that I committed that, actually. I think I closed the issue, but I don't know that I actually put my code online. Whoopsie daisies. Better find the issue and reopen it first. Yeah, extract Africa MC logic to its own class. So I'm going to change that to abstract, because I think that's the right word. Anyways, not important, but... Okay, so I did commit it to a branch. Yeah, it's on a branch, okay. Yeah, but it looks like I never made a pull request and never merged it into master. Funny. Which one's base and which one's compare? I have no idea. So just click on the one that I was working on. Can't merge automatically. Oh no. Yep, here we go. This is all the code. This is what we changed. Or what I changed. Or no, we changed, because Emmanuel's was helping on this one. On the last stream, we were doing it on a live code share session thing, which was kind of exciting. Done like dinner. I don't know if we're at the stage yet where I can go around asking people for requests. I don't know if we're on that level. So, or I mean, if I can go around asking people for reviews on my code. So I think I'm just gonna have faith that I made it okay and I tested it well enough myself. Although moving forward in the future, I think it would definitely make sense to be reviewing each other's code before we're merging stuff into master. Not like it's a huge deal if something goes wrong on production. I mean, it's just like our random little game and stuff already has gone wrong like a billion times on production, so like who cares? But it's in a residual beta, as I'm gonna say. So anyways, apparently we've got to resolve some conflicts, so I'd rather do that via the command line. Oh, I guess I don't need the URL, do I? Because I'm on my own repository. So let's see, we're on master now? Yes. So git fetch origin. That's thinking. Git checkout. I already got that branch. I sure do. Perf 10 MC Africa class origin / perf 10 MC Africa class. Oh. Was that supposed to be dot? Not dot anything. Oh, that's if I was making a new one. I'm not making a new one. We already have that all set up. No need to worry about it. That's all stuff that I was just messing with. It's not really anything that's important. Git merge master into this branch, I suppose. Dun 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 dun. Automatic merge failed. Fix conflicts, then commit the results. So what's conflicted? Which of our code is having conflicted feelings today? Both modified. Africa camp, of course it's Africa camp. Where else would it be? So, okay, here we go. So outgoing, or incoming outgoing, incoming current, whatever. Incoming change. So the tile sets, we're gonna want all that. Definitely want that. Don't need any of that. Do need that. Don't actually need that comment. And what else? Adding a container, that was new, so that's gonna stay, I think. And the animation creation. The animation creation station is not in the scene anymore. That is now the job of the character class. Of the PC, nope, what would do? Just the empty Africa class. Anyways, and this thought camera, that's still in the scene, but everything else, including all the animation, can go. And of course, indeed, all of this can get got in lieu of a simple call to mc.update. And I'm gonna get rid of that WordPress reference because we don't want any references to WordPress in our cool game. Unless it's like a game where you're beating up the WordPress logo or some. I'm just kidding. That was a dark tangent. We don't need to go down there. I just don't really like WordPress too much, and I've been working with it all day. So, anywho, so and I thought this fixed a bug on my machine, but it did not seem to. Or maybe it will now, who knows. We'll test this anyways, make sure it is actually still working. Make sure we don't blow the whole game up. It's always good procedure to check. If there's no one here for this stream, I'm definitely going to spend this time writing the contributing doc, because I feel like that would be some dry video material for all y'all. Okay, we've got a loading screen, we've got a falling animation, we've got a game by the look of it. Fancy that. Ooh, it's a little laggy. That's probably just because I'm running OBS and Spotify and Discord and every other thing on the face of the earth. Now, I'm going to close Discord because we don't really need that to be running. It's just eating up extra memory. Anywho. Yeah, those lines are still there even with my half-assed solution. What a bummer. Anyway. Not the end of the world, but just kind of annoying. And it seems to only be on my computer that I'm seeing that. I don't see that on my phone. I don't know if I see that on my tablet. It's been a while since I've tested this game on my iPad, so maybe I should try that, but certainly not on my phone. Pretty stoked on this, our pseudo friction system. Works pretty well. See if I'm gonna die. Ooh, I survived. Look at that. Oh, no I didn't. I almost got to the end. Anyways, point is the game is working, and I didn't check the console, but I don't think there's any console errors. Console warnings apparently, but yeah, that's just that invalid animation key one that seems to be a problem with Phaser. Not a deal breaker though, it's just a warning. Anyway, so with that in place, I'm going to close that just so the stream is hopefully a little smoother. But I feel like Chrome's probably pretty good about pausing background stuff. Anyways, that would be my conflict resolution, I suppose. So I can't remember what I do. I think I just add everything. Not everything, but source/scenes everything. Oops, both modified. What do you do to... Oh, you added again? Didn't I just do that? Be very specific, very verbose, and maybe it'll like that better. There we go. The verbosity was the trick. Anywho, use get commit, conclude, merge. I will do just that. Get commit. Conflict resolution. What is it? MC Africa class? Yeah. Not done yet. Okay, now guess we've got that half of the got step 1 done. So got master, merge, no fast forward, our branch with our wonderfully long name, 10 MC Africa class. Boink. And yeah, that's fine. That message is fine by me. And git push origin master. That ought to do it. Now, with any luck, should actually have that. There it is. Merged and closed. Beautiful. Conflict resolution dealt with. And now I can actually close that issue, unlike before when I just closed it early. Or is it still closed? It's still closed. I'm just getting too excited. Okay, anyways, on to the next one. Abstract level logic into its own extendable class. So same idea as what we just, not what we just did, but what we just merged into master. Except this time we're doing levels instead of characters. So let's just take a look at the state of things. Oh, actually, let's make a new branch first. So I always forget to do that. Git start. No, that's not a command. Branch. Git checkout dash b. Let's say Kirk. This number. 17. Abstract level class. Booyah. Now, with our new branch, make sure we actually. I just want to make sure we actually have the latest from master because it's really annoying when it doesn't always pull. Doesn't always pull. I don't know. Okay, we are up to date. Cool. Oh god, branch name again. Kirk 17 abstract level class. Could have just called it level class, I suppose, but anyway. Cool, and we're on the right branch. Confirmed. All right, now let's get to it. Run start. Boom, bada boom. Up jumps the server. And 3, 2, 1. That was heavily delayed. Just out of timing things. Cool. So we've got our game here again. Look at this, isn't it shaping up nicely? How's that? Those lines still bother the hell out of me, but other than that, I'm very, very happy with this. Other than the lines and the fact that I somehow turned the background color to black instead of yellow. I still don't understand why it's doing that. I'm changing the color on the camera, the main camera, and that was working before to make it black. It's like almost like we've layered something over top of the background is my working theory. And I'm just thinking maybe the map has a black background or something, like maybe I exported it wrong from tiled, I don't know. Anyways, point is, we've got a game. Oops. Alright, so we've got a game, that's all wonderful. And we've got a scene for our level. And this is where I'm thinking things are going to be a little different. So, first things first, I actually just want to rename this to Africa Camp Level. Rename Africa Camp Level. So I mean, it is still going to be a scene at the end of the day, but it's going to be a scene extending like a special scene class that we're gonna build. And just gonna have to trust me, it's gonna have a lot of benefits to make it modular like this. It's gonna save us a lot of heartache in the future, and our code's just gonna be so nice, you know? Such nice code. Oh, yes. Anyways. So, before we get into breaking everything apart, let's just fix the little bit that we just broke there, which will be an index. And we'll change this to Africa camp level from Africa camp level. Boom. In fact, I'm going to separate levels and give them a comment. Because scenes are going to be sort of other things like UI or perhaps cutscenes or stuff like that. But the levels are going to be purpose-built levels that you can play around in and hopefully with a little bit of luck, fuck up some robots. Alright. So what of this can be generalized? That's really the big question. What of this can we make common to every level? That's really how you gotta go about this kind of stuff. For one thing, we're not gonna have a create function at all. Everything in here is gonna be handled in the constructor now because I'll show you why. Oh, hold on. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to make a base level first. That would probably be a good idea. Why don't we go like this? We'll say, I don't know, this is tough. So, are we gonna have different kinds of levels, I wonder? Or, no, I don't think so. I think we're just gonna have the main type of gameplay for the main parts of the game. We'll have mini games and stuff, I'm hoping eventually, but for now, for our MVP, I think all we need really to worry about is, levels. So let's just call it level.js. Maybe let's make a directory in here and just call it base, throw a level in there. Cool. So import scene from phaser, because level is indeed going to be extending scene, but we're going to be extending level. So class level extends scene. Super the key, which is incoming from our configuration object, and for now I think that's all we're gonna do. Now time to abstract. So I think what we should do really here is abstract as much as we can to the level class first. I could be totally ass backwards about how I'm doing this, but this is just how I think will hopefully work out nicely. Abstract as much of the logic out of the Africa camp level into the generic level class, and then, sorry, don't mind me, I'm just itching my elbow in the most awkward way possible. And then see what we can make as like a configurable level, because like things we're going to need to pass in, right? This is what we got to think about. I'm going to write this down. We're going to need to pass in. So, what are we going to need to pass into our level? We're going to need to pass in a tile set, because we'll be using different tile sets. We're going to need to pass in a map, tile map, and we're going to need to pass in a character, I suppose, our character. I'm going to define our character. So define our character / MC. And then I guess the logic for all the enemies and stuff is kind of going to be generalized, or not generalized, sorry. It's going to be specific to each level, I suppose. That's how we'll do it for now, but if we can circle back to that later and just the more stuff we can generalize and make reusable, the better. So anyways, for our MVP version of our level class, I'm thinking the only things that need to be configured are the tile sets, the tile map, and our character, our MC character. So let's get at it. I guess maybe the background color too would make sense. Like that too. Probably shouldn't be writing on my monitor, but anyway, it's not plugged in. I can't use it anyways. So background hash, background number, whatever. Anyways, so stuff that can be generalized. I'm gonna go ahead and say like probably all of this can be generalized. So let's just nuke that, cut it all out of there, bring it on over to level, and it's gonna go in the levels constructor because level's not gonna have a create function. Welcome viewer, how's it going? So okay, but now our scope has changed a bit, so we're not going to be using this dot anymore. We're going to be using scene, and I feel like maybe we're going to have to use some kind of special functions again to like do some of this stuff. We'll see. We'll see. We'll just see if it blows up on us. So first things first is to replace all of the this instances with config.scene. So instead of this, config.scene. Boom, config.scene. Config.scene and config.scene and blah blah blah. Oops. And for now, we're not going to worry about the actual configuration. We're just going to be trying to get the same logic to work from a different file. I guess the MC could still be this dot. That doesn't necessarily have to be the scene dot, but so yeah, why don't we go back to the dot MCs and change those to this dot. So that can still be, that's just, we're just tracking that in outside of all the update and create functions and stuff, so that doesn't actually have to be specific to the scene. So, is that all of them? Yes, that's all of them. Alright. So, first of all, I guess we're going to need to import our character from somewhere. Or, yeah, for now let's just import it. We'll get to making it cool and configurable shortly, but I feel like we gotta go back one more for this. Oops. Not like that, like that. There we go, empty Africa, boom. So let's just see if it even works, and if it does, just blows up, but I'm thinking it's probably just gonna blow up, but. Okay, Africa camp scene is not defined. Ooh, interesting. Is that because, oh no, Africa camp scene, that is an old reference actually. We changed it to level, didn't we? So where's that coming from? Index line 32, and of course it's this crazy, whatever this is. Oh, okay, yeah, I know where that is. Index. Here we go, Africa camp level, not seen. Okay, so we're in the level class, which is not where we want to be. Although actually, we can lift this update function probably. And okay, well anyways, circle back to that, but anyways, this.mc.update, yeah, that should check out. Now, okay, we're supering the config.scene, so that's the one thing we are going to have to pass into this, which, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually don't know how we're going to do that, because we're extending this class, we're not instantiating it. Oh, darn. Okay, this might be our first little bump in the road. So instead of, yeah, so we want to extend the class, but right now we're kind of set up to instantiate it. Constructor still gets called when you, I honestly have no idea, I'm going to Google it. Oh shit, I should probably close that before I crash everything again. I've crashed the stream like multiple times now because of just like I don't have the best computer, and I mean, yeah, I just have errors that run non-stop over and over, so shit happens. Anyways, yeah, does constructor get called when extending a function? No, a class, sorry. Undoodle-doo, class. Because a constructor initializes an instance of a class, they are never inherited. Okay, so that's that answered. So maybe actually we do want just a create function instead of a constructor. That would mean we don't need any that. Still doesn't really give us a way to pass in that key, does it? Can you actually, you know what? I've got a theory. I've got a working theory here. And you know what? Now that I realized we just changed all that shit, we have to change it back. So config.scene. I'm just going to be fast this time. This, replace. Okay, so because we're extending scene, we're not, okay, getting everything all mixed up here, but actually, yeah. Okay, so the constructor, I think, is going to go in here, but we're not going to have a create, well, we will eventually, but I don't know. Just see how this works. Extends level. Oops. Come on, VS Code, work with me. Work with me, not against me. Okay, perfect. Don't need that anymore. Just see if this blows everything to pieces. Shall we? It's looking that way. There's just one error. Okay, that's nice. So level is not defined. Okay, that's an easy one. Probably just because we're not exporting it, so... Or no, we're not exporting it or defining it. So we're not defining it. So export default out of that class and import into this one. So actually, yeah, we don't need scene anymore, so we can just say import level from /base/level. And we don't even need MC Africa in this one anymore, in theory. Will it crash? Name of the game. No way. Does it just work? Okay, no. Keyboard controls don't work, but... Oh, they do work! I just wasn't focused. Holy... That was lucky. I was expecting this to take, like, a solid chunk of the stream, just figuring all this crap out, but it's working! Look at that! I mean, we still have a ways to go, but, like, don't get me wrong, but still, that's awesome. Hell yeah! Alright. Our game works just as good as it did before, but now we're doing this inheritance business stuff. This is a good time for me to learn a little bit more of the theoretical stuff, because I really don't know that stuff, and I should. But everyone learns at some point or another, right? I don't know. Anyways, so it extends level, cool. We give level a key of Africa Camp, and that's how we reference it from other scenes, which we are doing from the preloader scene. Boom, right there. So it works. Cool. So that's one. What next? So I guess because we're just using the scene, this really can just be the exact same as all the logic we had in Africa Camp. But we're gonna want to pass in some configuration stuff, I suppose. Now, how the hell do you do that? That's my big question now. You wouldn't pass in configuration, would you? I guess you would configure this class, not this class. This class would give you like the baseline functionality, and then this class is where we would customize it and make it slightly unique. So maybe the create and the update functions can still go in this class, but this one maybe. Welcome viewer number 2. How's it hanging? We could throw an init function here, and update might as well. No, we should probably change that to, well, standby. Because at some point we're probably going to want to have like custom logic for bad guy. Well, no, bad guy logic was going to live somewhere else. So yeah, okay. So this dot init, and we'll make some. I guess not in the constructor. I guess we would just make them here. I don't know. Like this. I have no idea if this is correct syntax or not. Don't judge me. This dot what could be one background color. So let's give a throwback to old school HTML. BG color equals what we have there. F3EB A6. And then I'm thinking that this is not going to fly there, so just BG color. And then this dot BG color. And so we actually know that it's working, because right now that set BG color, background color call isn't actually doing shit all. So we'll say console log BG color, but we're gonna have a twist, a shocking twist. We're gonna say in the constructor of this class, we'll hopefully, if this works, override the BG color to like red or something, doesn't matter. And then in the, no, we don't want to well, yeah, actually we do. Sorry, so override the create, and in the create function we'll say this dot init, I guess, init level. Why don't we say, make it a little longer, init level, and init level. Okay. Apparently that didn't work. Oh, apparently I've got a syntax error or something. Build failure. Support for experimental class properties isn't supported. Oh, damn. Okay. Shoot. That kind of throws a wrench in things. So what that's saying is we can't specify variables here, which is annoying. Oh, you know, oh, wow. You know what? I'm silly. Pass something into here. We don't need to do it like that. Yeah, that was a totally jank way I was doing it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do this. Yeah, this is the way. Now it's red. Well, it won't be red because that doesn't work, but that's not the point. The point is we're passing in things. So config.bgcolor. And run one more time, config.bgcolor. Boom, it's outputting red, so it did update correctly. Now, if we chose not to specify this, it should... wait, actually, no, it wouldn't know it. Why don't we do something? We could use like a deconstructor or get kind of fancy here, I suppose. So if we go like this and say BG color. That's still not how we're gonna set a default though. Can we do it like this? I don't know. Let's find out. I already lost the hash for our color. Whatever, let's just say yellow for now. So let's try that, and now we actually don't need these config dots, we just need BG color. So let's see, look at that, so it defaults to yellow. Now if we uncomment this line, uncomment, it should be red. Booyah! That's a win. So we can specify all our defaults right up here, and we deconstruct it nicely so we can just use straight variables. We don't have to have objects. And so yeah, I guess now it's just a matter of going through and setting up everything. That set round pixels thing is supposed to fix those janky lines, but it did not apparently. It did for like a solid like hour or two while I was testing, and then suddenly it decided to stop working again, so I don't know what the hell. But anyway, so I suppose another one we would want would be, I suppose MC Africa could be like the default class, but why don't we have, because add pointers, the second pointer is always going to stay, we don't need to configure that. We do want to configure what sprite we're using though, so I'm thinking all of that's fine, but what we're going to change is right up here we're going to say, I don't know, just like MC class equals MC Africa. So it's going to default to MC Africa, hopefully. Oops, it would do that if I just typed it again, but it's not what we're trying to do here. So we want to see if this now defaults to MC Africa with no input from us on this side here. Let's go. Let's see. Uh-oh, kaboom, disaster. MCO. Would help if I had the correct capitalization, though. MC Africa. Boom. Now it should work, hopefully. It does. Look at that. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I'm really feeling this song so much. Anyways. Yeah, so that's cool. So it defaults to the MC Africa character. We don't actually have any other characters to test with right now, but yeah, I'll come back to testing that a little more thoroughly later. Okay, now this is going to be interesting. So we need to make our tile map. So what we need for that would be the the tile map key, the width and the height of the tiles, unless we want to keep those constant throughout the whole game, which might be a good thing to do. I'm thinking yes to that. Let's keep them constant for at least for our MVP stage. We can make them variable later. It'd be really an easy fix, but it would be kind of cool if it just, the less things we have to specify, kind of in my mind, the better when we're creating levels, because then we can just bang them out real quick. Once you have the graphics, you throw it all together, you're golden. So BG color, MC class, and now we're saying tile map key equals Africa camp map. Again, that's the only one we've got, so I'm afraid that's the only one that we can actually test with right now. But this tile map key, oopsies, and done. Now tile map. Oh man, there is a lot of little random strings that we're probably going to have to substitute stuff for if we're changing all these level things later. Again, unless we want to have some kind of like consistent system for all this where we can know ahead of time what it's going to be in the file. So I don't even remember what this is actually a reference to. I think it's like the layer in the file or something. I'm gonna fire up tiled and just have a quick look here. Our handy dandy map editing tool, of which I have 2 versions installed, one really installed, one kind of just sitting in my downloads folder, but the one sitting in my downloads folder is the one source of truth. That's the one we want. So here's our map. And what on earth is that in reference to? Basic, okay, that's a good start. Basic dot, so name, basic, probably. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that it's the tile set name. Name, and now basic tiles. Where is that coming from then? Maybe check our preloader. Basic tiles, so that's the name of the image we're loading in for them. So I guess that could be like what? Tile set image. Set image. Boom, done like dinner. And now this is also has potential to be tricky because there's a chance that some maps are going to have more layers than other maps, but I think that's a bridge we're just going to cross when we get there. For now, what I'm thinking is we can just say that we're always going to have these 3 layers. Just one behind the main character, one above them, in front of the main character, and one that's like level with the main character in theory, even though technically it's also in front of him, according to the layers down here. But anyways, and why don't we just have those all consistently named? So behind MC, above MC, and solid. That's pretty easy to remember. Oh dear, set collisions between. This is going to be fun to map out, because we're going to have this be different for every tile sheet as well. So, tile set, tile sheet, tile map, I don't know. I got my terms all mixed up, but anyways, the point is it's going to be different for different maps. So, the function we're usually using is set collision between. Although, what we could... No, that would... No. Why don't we make an array of arrays multi-dimensional array right here. So it'll be something like this. It'll say, we'll call it collision. Yeah, sure. Collision tiles or colliding. Whatever. Collision tiles is fine. That I'll know what it means. Equals, to start off with, our default is going to be 1, 4. Or should we use objects? No, that's actually fine. We'll just use this. Then 8, 11. Because I guess everything could, in theory, be expressed in terms of set collision between. Because, and again, I know there's better ways of doing this, but this is the way we got working, so this is the way we're gonna work with for now. It's always something we can improve later on outside of the MVP. But this is MVP land, so collision tiles. Okay, so now we're gonna have to spunk up our logic a little bit here, and we're gonna have to go like this. We're gonna say, what do we call our variable? Collision tiles? Collision tiles. Collision tiles dot for, does that work? Sure, it works on arrays anyways. Or, actually, why don't we just do a straight for loop? That'll be, so for var, not var, wow. This is ES6, come on. Let I equal 0, I is less than collision tiles dot length, I plus plus. Oops, deleted our example code. Can't have that. Man versus code editor. Now, we're not just gonna set the collision between 1 and 4 a million times. We're going to set the collision between, why don't we just go like this? We'll say const tiles equal collision tiles I, which is going to be an array, so we can just go like this. Tiles, oops, not like that. Go like this. Tiles 0. And in this case, it's real simple, tiles 1. Not that, tiles 1. Boom. So now in theory, that should dynamically work for any collisions we want to set between other tiles. That's what it defaults to for the Africa camp map. But we could replace that with anything, and it'll loop through them all and set up all the collisions, and we should be dandy. Setting up a collider between the main character and the solid layer, we want to keep that. Map container, we want to keep all this exactly the same, and camera following, and that's looking to be it, actually. Did we get everything? Tile sets, mapped, tile map, define character, yeah, /MC, we got that because we did that with that class that we pass in, and background color, which we did, yeah, so cool. Alrighty. So, because I'm pedantic and I can never make up my mind about naming stuff, I'm going to change it back to just init, not init level. Init. So, BG color red. Well, okay, let's just, for this one, init the default, because the default is the map that we just duped. So Africa camp is the default level. Cool. So we don't actually have to pass anything in for configuration there. Should be good to go. Our main character gets updated in the update loop, so that's all good. And yeah, so I guess the next thing to do would be to actually test this by making a different map. And, whoa, or making sure our computer doesn't crash again. Hold the phone. Fuck. that was close. Hey JL, what's up? Pleased to see you made it. We're just doing some more kind of internal programmery refactoring things today. But we basically just got through that, so we're pretty much done with that, and now we're gonna make a new level. Seems fun. But before we do that, I think I want to make a couple new tiles, actually. I want to make like a little portal tile or something or like a door or something that can warp us. I don't think we can animate tiles just yet. We can, but I think we need a plugin or something different. I don't know. But anyways, the point is, this won't be animated, so I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, can't have been that important. All right. I love how this thing just works out of the box in Ubuntu now. It used to be like, I never got this thing working on my Chromebook running Linux, but that's because it's running old Linux. Let's just go open and basic.xcf. There it is. So now let's just add one more row down to the bottom, so another 100 pixels on the height. Image, canvas size, and height will go up to 600. Ooh. Did that not just do it? Or did it do it? Why is it? No. Yeesh. Canvas size. I can find it. I lose it every single time. There we go. Now we have to go layer, layer to image size, and do the same on the background, even though the background doesn't really matter. And actually, well, whatever, yeah, we'll just do it. Layer, no, but we can't because it's all locked down. Now we should be able to layer to image size, cool, done. Lock it down again so we can't draw on it by accident. Did I add weapons? Not yet, good sir. Weapons are coming. We have separated the character logic. We've modularized it so that it's not part of just one big file anymore with all the level stuff and character stuff all mixed together. So we're just modularizing the level logic now as well, so we can build levels really easily. And then after that, and after we've tested it by building another level, if there's time, we can, yeah, let's get into that. Let's start doing it. The weapon, the shooting logic, because the shooting logic for this game is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it already. So, first things first. JL says, you want to help, but you're a noob at game dev. Dude, don't sweat it, man. There's, we have a tag on our issues pages. I'll show you right now. Check this out. Look for this purple tag. It says good first issue. See, this one's pretty straightforward. It's just adding WSAD keyboard controls alongside the arrow keys for people who prefer that. And also, man, like, if you ever want to, like, dive into an issue but you don't really know how to get started, you know, you're more than welcome to, like, reach out to me, or I'm sure Ted wouldn't mind as well, or E-Man, on our Discord channels. and just ask questions and say like, you know, like I want to help out, but I don't really know what to do, blah blah blah. And yeah, I want our community to be a very, very supportive one. Anyways, let's see here. That's humongously too big for grass, so let's throw that down to like 2. Well, I won't be able to draw in there yet, but maybe 3 or 4. Yeah, 4 seems a little big, so 3. Yep. And let's maybe... I'm just gonna eyeball this, it might not be perfect, but... I guess I could have copied one of these actually, that's probably a smart thing to do. Let's do that. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I was pretty much more or less on it, kinda. Cool. Definitely will check it out. Cool, man. Right on. And eventually, once I actually can invest a little bit more time into these projects too, I plan on doing a lot of tutorials and stuff to help out people who want to get started. So do stay tuned for all that. I certainly hope to have that stuff up soon. That is a little patch of grass. And now we can draw something in it. So, question is what? Just like a little... What if we just had like a little thing of light just shining up out of the ground? That'd be kind of cool. It'd be way cooler if we could animate it, but we'll cross that bridge later. For now, we'll just get something in here. Throw a new layer in here so we can cheat a little bit. And go like this. And I don't know, yeah, what tool would be best? Maybe the airbrush. Pull up the size to like too big. That's probably good. And let's go with like a really, I don't know, orange? The sky is supposed to be yellow, so orange might not mix with that too well, but pink portal. Pink portal. How about it? What if it's just a low glow? That's probably good. Literally no idea what I'm doing. Oh, you saw the Webpack video. Cool, man. Nice. Was it alright? Like, I bet it was probably not the easiest video to follow because I was probably going all over the place, reading tutorials and doing God knows what. But I hope you got a bit out of it. Where is merge down? Merge down. Boom. So for now, that's the only new tile I actually wanted to make, so just export like that, go like that, go like that, go like that, and like that. Close out a GIMP for now. No, I do not want to discard those changes. Let me save that. Was long but entertaining. Sweet, man, thanks. Don't need my handy tablet anymore, so back to keyboard and mouse land. All right, cool. There's our new tab. That actually looks better than I thought. That turned out pretty cool. Be super cool if we could animate it. That's something I'm gonna look into. Actually, I'm gonna. Doesn't really merit an issue, I guess. That's more like a research thing. So, anyway. Maybe can I add a note in the project? That might be a good place to show like research topics. To do research animated tiles. Animated tile maps. Yeah, most of these streams end up being pretty long usually. Cool. So that's in the project, I guess, now. Make sure I'm on the above layer, because that's where we're going to be putting this. Let's put it right at the end of the map to make it a little bit more of a challenge. Boom. Alright, so we've got our... Yep. That's all we need to change on this one, so let's export it as JSON, which is what the other version of this program wasn't letting us do, hence why I have two versions installed. Well, one installed, one half installed sitting in my downloads, but that's not the point. So now, this is exciting, an exciting moment. New map! I've gone all CSV right down. It does have to be fixed, unfortunately. 100 tiles by 100 tiles is probably fine for now. Tile size, 100 pixels, hell yep. And we're gonna call this one, I don't even know. Let's just call it like test map. Yeah, so just my originality is not here tonight. Oops, you actually do have to type the extension. Okay, so .tmx. Boom, all right. So now we need our layers to be the exact same, because that's how we decided we're gonna do it. So we need behind MC, solid, and above MC. Is this Ubuntu 18.10? Yeah, 18 point something. It's the one. It's right up there with the newest ones. I think it's. Let me tell you. Where is it? Here we go. About, I think. Let's find out. Ubuntu 18.10. Yeah, you got it. You nailed it, sir. Do the solid layer first, because that's what we're actually going to be running on. And I think we are going to start starting the maps up in the corner, so makes sense to go like this. And Not really. I have a little bit in the past. I did work on some 3D games using Blender, their game engine, at some point in time, very long time ago, but that's been some time. And no, personally, I'm just a really big fan of 2D games, and I just think they're great, so that's all I really want to work on is 2D games right now. That might change in the future one day, but yeah. I think 2D is a very like interesting medium because it's kind of like it's a dimension that we can understand, but it's not one that we can actually like occupy, you know? We're living in a higher dimension than 2 dimensions. We're living in 3 dimensions, or 4, I guess, or more, whatever. But anyways, yeah, it's cool because like we can perceive 2 dimensions. We understand that like something flat on a piece of paper is in 2 dimensions, but we can't actually like warp our body into 2 dimensions unless you're kind of playing a game. So that's what I think is cool. That's my weird random reason for liking 2D games. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing with this map right now, by the way. I'm just kind of making whatever happens. So what are these tools? Terrain brush, wang brush. It's wang brush. Bucket fill. Yeah, that'd be... Alright. Anyways, cool, so it's a little bit of a map. We're gonna land somewhere about here, realistically kind of there, or maybe we'll make the rule 3 in and 1 down is where we start. So start about there and fall to there. Anyways, let's make it a little bit of a free fall now. Down to just like a little platform right here. Maybe a little longer than that because our jumping system is a little bit harder to use than other jumping systems, or at least it takes a little bit more practice, so let's make it maybe a bit of a bigger target. Cool. Let's split it off in 2 directions. That's what I was really wanting to do, was make this map a little bit more go wherever you fancy. Can't remember if you can make a jump that big, but I'm gonna just hope that you can. So, what else? Another little platform, but this one's going to be a little further down and maybe starting here? Yeah. Alright. This is shaping up to be a map. This is going to be cool. Now... Really, again, I'm kind of banking on the fact that you can actually make these jumps, but I think we're fine. Worst case scenario, we'll add a little power up or something right at the start where you get higher jump for this level. I don't know. want to do a cave shortly. Make use of our cave tiles. But we're going to have to mess with the layers a little bit when we start doing that. I got to remember that. Otherwise it'll be a bad, bad day. Okay, so start of our cave is going to be like right here. Or no, yeah. Build it up around like this, kind of. Thinking like make it so that you can't get there once you're, or well, whatever. It's harder to get there, at least.
Toward me and look so weak. I've never seen you with such tired eyes. And everything you said we'd be, we just traded for a suit coat and a tie.
Oh, that's gonna be the cave, so. Let's just get all the way up here. Don't know if we actually have a way of, now we want this to be behind the MC, which is really, is that how we did it here? Yeah, oh I see, but we hollowed it out, okay, cool. So, maybe like this, we'll go start. Oops.
Standing underneath the rows of trees, I can see where the ocean meets the sky. Under our clothes, a fire grows. We are ready for this life of running wild.
Have it drop out there, so you might, there's a chance you could fall off into the oblivion. Holding a long, long tunnel. You should add fire. Like fire to the cave or fire to the, like, are we talking about guns again? I mean, it's 11 o'clock. When falling, maybe? Do you mean? Like add fire, like torches that you're falling past or something? Yeah, typo. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. I think that'd be like extra cool if we had like if we could animate those tiles again, going back to that, because like having like an animated little like flame on the wall would be sick. We do have these little tiles right now, these like kind of crappy lights that I drew, but that's not as exciting. Now, this is going to be in the cave, so actually we're going to be using something different. We will just want that to be straight dirt, and then there we go. Here starts the cave. Still so bothers me that the edges of the cave are not the right colors with the rest of the dirt. That's gonna drive me so insane, but can't win them all. Ooh, we're gonna need a new tile for this, kinda, sort of, technically. I mean, I think we could probably get away with kind of going like this, but whatever. Alright. Bring it on back up here. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's put some cave paintings in here too. Make it a little eerie. Our little stick people cave paintings. Just a bunch of dudes with a bunch of fires or whatever that was supposed to be. I don't remember. Cool, so now we've got a little cave system on the go. Guess we gotta finish off down here too. Da-doink. Da-doink. Da-doink, doink, da-doink, 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 da-doink. Da-doink, da-doink. Da-doink, 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 da-doink. And then get the edges real nice. Oops, that should be that one. And that should be this one again. That one. That two. And that two. Now we've got a little cave system. Neato. Oops. Alright, so we've got kind of a world and like a little area that you can't get to, just to be mean world creators. At least right now, who knows? Maybe some future tech will get us there. Anyways, this is looking like a bit of a level now. This is pretty cool. Yeah, 100 by 100 tiles is actually quite a lot of room to play with. I think that's what our configuration was set to. Anyways. Now we can keep adding to this as we go, but I'd like to start testing this in the code pretty shortly because I'm basically just getting bored of making levels. So I think it's time to get all the detailing work on the above layer. And use my favorite feature of this program, the randomizer, the random mode, whatever. And then we can just paint. We don't have to worry about switching tiles every time, it'll just do it for us. Figure out a way to do all the map pieces like this, that would save so much time. Grass is another thing I'd like to animate in this game too. I think that'd be cool. Actually quite get a lot out of making these levels. As much as I do get bored of it, it's really fun. This is the world building part of the game, which is like the world, for me, in any kind of story, whether it's a movie or a book or whatever, a game, doesn't matter. My favorite and the most important part for me in any of those anythings is the world. If you've got a cool world, you've got a Kirk. Hence why I enjoyed Harry Potter so much, because the world of Hogwarts was magical, to say the least. Anyways, I think that's all our grass painted on, for at least what we've got so far. Now, what's gonna come next? I guess we'll just throw in a few more details, so like, throw a tree up here. There always seems to be a tree at the start. And then maybe a rock kind of over there. And another rock down there. Not another tree. Trees should be rare in this game. We'll make them like an oddity. Throw a few rocks around though, that's no big deal. Should make more than one rock though. But not right now. Right now we're on to bigger and better things than rocks. Cool. There you go. That's a sufficiently detailed map for now, I dare say. So let's save our test map and let's export it as JSON. Oh yeah, it already knows what we want. Beautiful. Now, I think we already saved this one, but just to be safe, because we did add the little portal right at the end, right there. And I think we're gonna have to have like an overlap function to sort of capture the hit test on that, but cross that bridge shortly. We can get rid of tiled for now, we're done there. And alright, into VS Code. So indeed, Africa Camp is the default, but now we're gonna have to change some of the defaults because we do want collisions between our latest tile as well, which I shouldn't have closed tiled. I knew I shouldn't have. I always close it before I should, but open up tiled in my jank downloads folder again. Anyways, okay, so yeah, let's see. So this is 1, 2, 3, or is I can never remember. I think tiles aren't 0 indexed. I think they're 1. They start at 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 2, 3, 4, 5. So 35 plus 1 is 36. So 36 to, let's just say 37 or something for now. So we need to add that to this array right here, our multi-dimensional array. 36 to 37 for now, even though 37 doesn't technically exist yet. You have a job tomorrow morning and you're not totally ready for it. Ooh, like what kind of job, JL? Like a programming job, or just like what are you applying for? What are you doing? Anyways, that should set collisions on for that tile, which is what we want, but oh shoot. Oh, we might need to make another one. I just realized this now. I'm gonna just look up, I'm gonna go to the Google. Phaser 3 tile map overlap, I suppose, is what we're looking for. Overlapping on tile map object layer. Oh, maybe we can create... Oh, look at that. They've got animated tile maps. How do they do that? Ooh, dearie me. Where's that for a sprite? Maybe it's a sprite. Add tile set image. Okay, so... Load tile JSON. Load sprite sheet. Okay, so it is a sprite sheet. Coins. Create from objects. Coin object layer. Whoa! Cool. So they're going with another layer in the map, and then they're creating objects out of that. Very interesting. UX, UI. Cool. Nice, man. So like a design related job, then I take it. Or I guess it could be development as well, but either way, cool. Well, good luck, dude. I bet you'll crush it. And if you don't, it's always a learning experience, but I bet you'll crush it. So we get to work with some new fancy functions to figure this stuff out. Let's see. Controls, we don't need any of that. Yeah, okay. So create from objects. From objects. Is an object layer like a type of layer in this? Object layer, it is. Interesting. Oh, cool. Okay, object layer. I'm just gonna call it objects because that makes sense. Make it above everything, and instead of having that portal there, let's put it on the objects layer now. Oh, but we can't. Select objects, okay. Insert tile. Oh, what? It's just free? It just floats freely? It's not like part of the grid? That's funny. Insert template, insert text. Insert rectangle. This is weird. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, no problem, man. Are you nervous though, or how are you feeling about it? Or I think you said, didn't you? Oh, you said you're not ready for it, but yeah. So tile layer is the tiles. So that would be like our above MC solid, behind MC whatever stuff. Maybe, I've got an idea. Okay, so we'll keep this on above MC for now. Zoom in here, real close. and make like a, I guess, just like a little box here. I don't know. On our objects layer. Ah, what am I doing? That ought to do the trick, I imagine. So can I give it a property or something so we can distinguish it? Let's say string. Let's say tele2, and we'll say teleport to I can't even remember what we called our other map. I think it was just test map. Okay, so we now have an object layer, whatever that means. Exported the JSON file again. Test map, it is what we called it. Great. Oops. Alright. Can you like snap this stuff to the grid? Show grid. Oh, snapping. Snap to grid, yeah. Oh, okay. So, I mean, that's another way we can go. So, sure, let's just do that. Or actually, no, I do kind of want it to be weirdly in the middle now that I think about it, because it could give us an opportunity to sort of walk behind the flame, purple, whatever stuff just a little bit. So we can... There we go. Yeah, just like that. And then bring it down. There, that's good. Okay, so now when we import our map, so now we're gonna have to do a little bit more in level. So we're adding a collider here, but I imagine we're gonna be adding an overlap shortly. That's the way I think this is gonna go down. So create from objects. So this is the coin object layer. So this must be the function we use to create all our objects, which is interesting. Or maybe we do it all by layer, I don't know. Okay, so I'm just kind of half rambling out loud right now, but don't mind me. So let's see, where did they put that relative to everything else? So we created some animations, added the tileset image, created the static layer, and then after creating the static layer, so here's where we're creating our static layers, and then yeah, right after that is where we're setting collision. So cool, that works. Object layer overlap detection. So let's say portal, and maybe we'll change the name of this to like portal layer, so then we don't have to depend on that. We'll just know this is the only thing that's on this layer is going to be that portal, so we know the whole layer is what we're looking for. I'm just going to get rid of that because we don't really need it anymore. And back in Visual Studio Code, I should probably find, I'm going to look up the docs for this function so I actually know what these parameters are. Basic 3 documentation, thank you. The slow search. Come on, slow search. You can do it. Dun, dun, dun. No results. Okay, that's great. So what would it be under? Map. Map is a tile set image, so I imagine it's returning game object. Oh lord, so many. search again. Class tile set, here we go. And create from objects. Nothing. Okay, well, you know what, whatever, let's just keep going with this. Oh, we convert all the tiled objects with an ID of 26 into sprites. Oh. They will get their width and height from the tiled tile object. Any properties on the tile object will also be passed into the sprite creator, e.g. one of the tiles has an alpha of something. Okay, interesting. So they're using that, that's the ID. So where does that play in tiled? 5, okay. So is that for the whole layer then? Or what if I drew another thing? Now that one's got 7. I mean, we only, okay, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. We only want to make one collision anyways, so we just want to be able to edit it from the map editor. So let's say 5. Key is something, I don't know, what the key, is that just for something we just assign it? I think so. Key is, in this case, portal. Key is portal. And I'm thinking this logic is probably going to have to go into the actual Africa camp level, though not in this generic level JS, but for now it can just go here. Portal is mapped, create from objects, portal layer, blah blah blah, all that stuff. We should be sorted there. Now what do they actually do with that new variable? Huh. So it just turns them into sprites? Is that what it does? Is that what I'm to understand? Oh, maybe that's what the keyword is for. Yeah, the key is, oh yeah, the key is the sprite sheet. Okay. So, yeah, why don't we take this as an opportunity to make like a little animated portal thing? Just really quickly, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but just make like a few frames. Switch on over to tablet mode again. Blister on my thumb. It's like the worst spot for it when I'm drawing. Derp. Well, actually, why don't we do the airbrush stuff first and then draw the grass over top? Because then the grass can be moving. Cool. There's one. Probably different enough. I mean, kind of base the grass sort of loosely off the first frame, but just have it move around a little bit is what I'm thinking. This is the emergency broadcast system, apparently. The emergency broadcast system people use when they want to party. Anyways. There you go. Kind of ruffled version of the first frame. Oh, what am I doing? Holy. Oh god. It's okay, just relax. It's always terrifying when you do something that doesn't work with Control Z. Should wait. Ah. Stop moving the image around. Is that what I'm doing? Hang on, I gotta make sure I'm not destroying the rest of this. Looks fine. I think we're good. Alright, final frame. 3 frames is good enough for this, I dare say. Might not be perfect, but I think it's gonna be good enough. The motto with this version of the game is nothing at all has to be perfect. It's all MVP at this stage. It's all minimum viable product. Minimum being the key word there. If we can get something that's working and is cool and is fun, mainly fun, if we can get something fun going, then we're winning. By the way, guys, for those of you who are new, we've been working on this game for a while now, and well, not a huge amount of time. We've been working on it for January, basically, a third of January. But if you would like, you're welcome to take a look at the live demo. Drop it in the chat for all y'all. There you go. Now I kind of do want this to have the exact same width and height as the thingamajig. So turn back that snapping feature on, snap to grid, and boom, boom. And alright, let's see, what else? Let's just re-export that again. Actually, you know what? One last thing we're going to do is we're going to nuke this one behind it. Because now I think this object layer is going to, yeah, we don't actually need that. What we do need to do is we need to give this guy its own image so it can be a sprite sheet. At least these 3 frames. There we go, new image. And that's 100 by 100, so that's easy to remember for the frame rate. And games, just like source, sprites, playable characters, non-playable characters, base. Oh, that's... Oh, whoops, this is not... That's code. That's... We want assets. Images, sprites, and we'll use, like, tiles. Sprites, I don't know. Or just tiles, maybe. Sprites / tiles. And we'll call this one pink portal. Cool. Pink portal. So now we gotta import, well, preload that. So that's multi-alias. That's different than what we're gonna use for this one, where I'm gonna go back to the normal easy old sprites for this. Maybe it could be a multi-alias thing later, I don't know. But anyways, sprite sheet, and we'll call it pink portal, and we'll say assets / images / sprites / tiles / pink portal.png. Cool. So that should load that in, and then our key is now going to be pink portal. I sort of understand these object layers a little bit better now. This is good. So our portal is what we're getting back from that. But in theory, that could be a big array, I think, full of lots of sprites. But in our case, it's just, I imagine, still an array, but an array of one. This is all judging entirely off of this example, but I think it's just legit. Make sure I've got the ID right, because yeah, it's 5. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, no need to be in there. Oh, we do need to define. Yeah, we do need to create the keyframes for that. So let's do that. Same way we do for the character, which is no longer in this file. It's now in sprites, base? No. PC, MT Africa, here we go. Because we are a scene, we don't have to say this dot scene, we just have to say this. Right, so move all this stuff so I don't destroy it by accident. We're done drawing for a while, so we don't need that. No, we don't need to save a reference to it, so we just have to say this dot anims dot create key for the animation is going to be let's just call it what does a portal do when it's just sitting there? Idle? Sure. Frames is this dot anims dot generate frame names. Oops, not numbers, names. And we're gonna throw in pink portal as the image, or the sprite sheet, I rather. Oh, hold on. I'm copying from an example that's different. That's using the multi-aliasing. Let's go from the example on the site. Just see what they did here. Yoink. And then what's the last thing? Frame rate, I think. frame rate and repeat. Okay. Let's put it kind of low for this one. I'm thinking like maybe 6 frames per second ought to do the trick, and repeat is just going to be -1, same as theirs. Oh. I've got syntax errors somewhere in here. This is going to be fun. Oh, because I've got the thing going like 300,000 times. What am I doing? There we go. That's better. But not 0 and 6. It's going to be 0 and 2, I think, because we only have 3 frames. So yeah, 0 and 2. 0 to 2. And okay. So the level creates a pink portal animation, then creates a portal, I imagine, array of potential portal objects created from the object layer. Cool. And we just gotta set collisions or overlaps with them, rather. I'm gonna start closing some stuff. I feel like my computer's chugging a little bit here. Yeah, I kind of want to save that. Yeah. Save that too, and we're good. Alright. Alright. So this .anims.play, spin and coins. Yeah, so I guess we could call this portals, plural, even though it is only going to be 1, just to make it clear that it's an array. And then we can say this .anims.play, pass in the key, which is idle, and we'll say portals. So in theory, if we had a bunch of portals all over the place, they'd all be playing, which is pretty cool. So this is something we could do to get animated tiles, actually. We just make them sprites instead of tiles. So that's sweet. That's totally a solution. Although it might get a little gnarly if we have, like, I don't know, maybe. It might not. I really don't know anything about performance stuff, so I know a little, but not enough. Anyways, should we just test it? I don't know. I'm at that stage now where I can't even really remember where we were going with all this, so, I mean, I know the end goal, but I can't, like, I've lost the steps, what step we're on, so yeah, let's just test it and see what happens. Error, dun 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 dun. Invalid frame width given. Oh, yes, we do have to specify that somewhere, don't we? In the preloader, I think. Back to their example. Sprite sheet, so it's the key, then the path, and then frame width and height as an object like this. Yoink. So that's what we've got, but we're just missing those, the width and height. Cool. But in our case, it's 100 by 100. Alright. Cannot read property BG color of undefined level. Okay, close that before it crashes everything, because that is my life. BG color of undefined. Okay. Oh, did we ever even test this? So maybe we actually just have to pass in an empty object. Yep, we just had to pass in an empty object, that's it. Whoa, it's kind of was freaking out there a little bit. Whoa, we've got two. We've got a bunch of dudes. What's going on? That's funny. There's two. How did that happen? That's odd. How on earth did that happen? We'll get back to that later. I want to see if our portal's working. Which, of course, we put it right at the end of the map, but that's okay. We get to go for a little adventure, and hopefully I don't die. Is it just me, or is there a bunch of me? Or is it just one? It'd be weird if there was like just a whole bunch layered on top of each other. It's actually performing okay for if that's the case. Jupe, jupe, jupe. I feel like our new map's gonna be a lot more exciting than this map. Yeah, buddy. First try. Whoa, okay. This is a little creepy. It's a giant version of me just kind of tweaking out, standing above our fire, which looks cool, but is also not animating. Not sure what the deal is here. This is a little funky. That's hilarious. Alright, so maybe we mixed up a key. Oh, you know what? I think I know what I know. I think I have a theory. I think I have a theory, guys. We're looking for... We've got the same key, I think. We've got a key overlap issue. Let's just say... Portal burn. I don't know. Burn the portal. See if this fixes any of that weirdness. Okay, we've still got two of us falling, which is weird. Okay, was there a bunch? I think there is a bunch of us. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's just some of the extra pixels just floating around in the image. I don't know. Is it still going to be us roasting? Oh, look at that! We've got working fire, but it's just floating above the other fire, which is interesting. Must mean we're just using it not quite right. But still, look at that. That looks pretty cool. The layers, it's layered behind us, which it should be layered in front of us, but that's okay, we can fix that. I think I might make it a little faster though. That 6 frames per second isn't really doing it justice. Let's set that up to more like 12 at least. And we're gonna have to edit our map again, which of course I closed tile, but that's okay. It's not like it's that hard to open it up again. Okay. So I feel like it's going on top because, well, I don't really know why, but I'm thinking it has to do with, like if we move it down here, I bet it'll work. Words. I don't know. Explaining technical things is hard sometimes. But I think it's because the X00 for this thing is going to be right here. So its origin is probably this top left corner, so that's probably why it's starting up here instead of down here, is my theory. Although I don't know what that's going to mean for the overlapping, but whatever, we'll figure it out. Hindsight, I probably should have put this a little bit closer to make it a little easier to test, but alas, here we are. Got about 20-ish minutes left. I can stretch that a little longer if I have to, but I would like to see this working and online before I go to bed. Just warp us to the new map so we can explore the new map. That's really all I'd like to see for tonight. Hey, look at that. That's sweet. That looks like a little portal. Very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Alright. Rad. We just need to get it so that it's layered in front of us instead of behind us, so we can kind of stand in the fire, you know? Close that out for now just to save on our memory. And tile 2, we're good there. We don't need anything from tiled, I don't think. Alright, so for the layering, how can we do that? Because I just want to see something really quick here. I want to see what that portals thing actually is. I'm sure it's an array or a collection or whatever, something like that, but yeah, it's an array of one. Okay, cool. So in this case, we actually know, like, you know, that first index is what is going to be our thing, because we only have one. But in the future, it's cool then to know that you could, in a map maker, go and specify a whole bunch of stuff and then have it all automatically come in and be dealt with for hit tests and all that stuff. That's sick. Yeah. Didn't know you could pass arrays into that unless I'm doing it. How am I doing it in MC Africa? This.animus.play. Huh. So in this case, this is the scene. In this case, this is the sprite. So that's interesting. Two different ways you can use that function, I guess. So why don't we kind of change this up a little bit? Let's say const warp portal equals portals 0 warp portal dot anims dot play burn true. We also have to figure out why there's like two of me appearing. I really don't know what that's all about. Could be somewhere in this too, I don't know. Anyway, just cross that and figure that one out as we go, I guess. See if this, nah, I don't want to go through the rigmarole of testing all that right now because we gotta run to the very end of the map and blah, blah, blah. Point is, I want to test the layering. So aka we have to add this warp portal sprite to our container. And we have to put it on the above layer, or above the above layer, how about? So it'll be warp portal goes there, and we're gonna say this dot, I don't remember how to do overlap, so I'm going to look it up, or actually look it up in the docs. Class arcade physics. This dot physics. Physics. Oh, okay. Overlap. Collide. Overlap. So collide. Oh, add collider. Add overlap, I guess. Hopefully that works. Dot physics dot add dot overlap. This dot MC and warp portal, not war portal, warp portal, and I think we have to give it a callback. Collide callback, process callback, callback context. Oh, okay, so that's good that you can specify the context. That might come in handy for weird bugginess things. But the callback, I guess that's when they collide, right? So yeah, okay. Let's say this dot, I imagine this is going to get called over and over and over and over again while we're touching it. So let's just do something, let's just test it for now. Let's say this dot warp, and we'll say process callback. I don't know that we need that, but let's just see if it works just as is without specifying any of that stuff right now. So that is a messy looking function declaration. Hey man, how's it going? I'm pretty good. Got all of our character logic modularized, and now we're just doing the same thing but with the levels instead. So it'll be really, really, really easy to just make levels after this. We don't have to bother with any of the setup stuff. It'll all be pre-configured for us, and just plop in all your stuff and you're good to go. Also, I don't really feel like listening to this song. Skip that one. Alright. So let's make our warp function. And let's just say console.log touching. Now this is worth the test. Let's use touchscreen controls, why not? Weird that that disappears on touchscreen though. I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. You got 30,000 JSON data and there are 2 error typos and you can't trace the typo. Oh god. Yikes, that sounds brutal, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. Trying it in touchscreen mode was a mistake on the computer. It's easier to just use the keyboard. Although I'm happy with how these controls feel on an actual touchscreen. There's some things I want to improve for sure, but like, as a first attempt, not bad. Now, this is going to be the ultimate test if I can make it. Oh god, and I'm already doing pretty rough. Made it. And overshot it. Oh god. Okay, yeah, no more touchscreen controls on my computer while we're actually testing things. If we're testing touchscreen controls, that's one thing, but we're not. We're testing tile animations and whatnot, and portals that warp you to places. Elasticsearch just showing the error, but no idea what area of it. Oh man, so it just says like there's an error here somewhere in these 30,000 lines, and you have to find it. Those are the best. There you go. So now if we touch it, does it work? Well, we're behind it, so that's a good step. Touching it apparently does nothing, but that could be an issue of the context, so let's not all lose our heads just yet. Overlap this warp, so let's say this is the context, I guess. I got it? Yeah. Shit, yeah. Did I figure out the phaser object? Yeah, yeah, I figured it out. I'll show you the code in just a second here, man. After I test this, I'll put it up on the screen so we can see. It actually turned out really good. I'm really happy with it. I think it's pretty nice and modularized, and right now I only broke it into the MC Africa class. I haven't broken it into the playable characters and non-playable characters subclasses, but that'll come later when we add more characters, is what I'm thinking. Okay, here we go. Does it work? Nope. Okay. So let's try to find like an example of overlap instead of just reading straight from the docs. Actually, just go to the labs. That always works. These are the best examples for phaser. Throw a link to this in the chat too, because this is a gold mine for phaser 3 right here. So let's see. We're looking for collisions, so that would be in physics, which is, I think it has its own one. Yeah, physics right there. Physics, arcade still, although we are going to be changing that. 40,000 world bodies though, that's pretty intense. I'm amazed you can do that. But anyways, let's just look for overlap. Overlap collider, I suppose. Remove collider. Yeah, probably overlap collider. That sounds promising. So what's happening? Yeah, it turns yellow when it collides, so that's... Oh, that's not quite what we want, actually. So physics.add overlap, we got that part right. And sprite and a group. So that's cool, you can add a group. So I guess actually we don't really need to isolate the one portal out of that. We could just pass in all the portals even though it is only one, but in theory that would work because it's a group of portals. But no, we need an example with a callback. No, nothing for callback, so overlap again. Overlap zone. Maybe remove collider, that's probably something. Maybe? I don't know. Let's find out. No overlap. Okay. Come on. It'll be in here somewhere. Overlap. Let's try overlap zone, I guess. What does it do when you touch? Just turns yellow like that other one, but Maybe they're doing it with a callback this time. No, they're not. Come on. Zone.body.touching none question mark. So I wonder if touching has a reference to let's find out. Let's try something here. So we'll just do what they're doing and just have two arguments. And then we'll just log, instead of having a callback, in their update function, we'll log this.mc.touching, I guess. That's what they're doing, right? Oh, body.touching. Okay, let's see how that, if that does anything. Oh dear, we might be, oh no, we're good. So no, it's just none, up, left, down. Yeah, it's just that. That's not actually telling us what object we're touching. Which, I mean, we could use this in our case, but I would like it to be a little bit more specific so that when we are really using, like, I imagined this using callbacks. I don't know. Not what we're looking for. Tile maps map collide. I mean, it's version 2 example, but as Eman has instructed me, you can still use version 2 a lot of the time. Still not really seeing touching changing at all, but oh, maybe we have to go to the end of the level? Is that what this is? I don't know that this is really the example. Well, let's just look at the code. Collision between. Oh, maybe that was just showing off the collide. I think that's all that was. Okay, so yeah, no, we're bounce on that one. Modular worlds again. Actually, you know what? There is one thing we can test since we are logging this, all of this, is that oh dear, we've lost it. Okay, it's okay, we're good. It's kind of hard with the console open right there. Didn't resize it. Just kidding, it's gravy. I know this map like the back of my hand. I know this map like I made it. Ha ha ha. Jokes. Anyways, alright. Boom, now. Still no. Still not touching anything. That's interesting. Okay, I have a new working theory. It's going to require us to open up tiled again. Close out of that just so I don't blow up my computer. And tiled, here we go. Now let's try moving this bad boy up again one more time. See if we collide with it when it's here. Because maybe the hit test area is that square. That would make sense to me. Why, though, that the sprite isn't occupying that square is beyond my reasoning, but... did I just export it, or did I only save it? I'm bad, I can't remember. My memory is not so hot, guys. Anyways, whatever. Better do it twice. Not gonna do that again with the thingy-majig right there, so here we go. Realistically, we probably should fix that bug too before putting any of this online with the second dude there. Oh, it is midnight as well, so I'm kind of cutting it short for time now, cutting it close. Give myself until 12:30. If I still haven't figured it out, might have to call it quits on the stream, guys. Thank you all for watching, but anyways, we'll keep it going for a little bit, but just in case it doesn't happen in 30-ish minutes, then yeah, we're gonna have to call this one, I think. But anyways, and still no touching. Okay, so that's, I mean, kind of good news, I suppose, in a way. Alright, so, we're not touching it in this case or the other case, so that's kind of funny. Just make sure it is actually legit. Touching none is still true, so yeah, okay, so, this sounds promising. Integrated tiled maps with phaser. Here we go. Oh, you have to pass null. Oh, I was doing a silly thing. I was being silly. Okay. Null. And then this is the context. Goodness gracious me. Thank you, tutorial, for that one little tidbit of information. Although that did look like a really good tutorial, so I might go back and read that one later, but not right now, not mid-live stream. Here we go. Frame rate's not bad considering he's not that choppy, considering we're logging like a bazillion, 100,000 trillion things per second. And streaming at the same time. It is noticeably smoother when I'm not streaming. I have noticed that, which is kind of funny, but oh well, no big deal. As long as it's watchable for you guys and it's not the worst quality ever, that's all I'm going for right now. That's all I can go for right now. So anyways, here we go, moment of truth. Is it gonna touch? Nothing. Really? Nothing still? Come on. Come on. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on, I did that wrong too. I think they had they must have specified the callback, because how else would you do anything? Diamond collect, yeah, okay. Oh boy. You know you're tired when you're just like forgetting arguments all over the place, and yeah. Okay, here we go. You know what I'm gonna do instead of logging all of that whole object? I'm just gonna log touching.none, which should be true most of the time, but I'm hoping that it's going to turn false when we touch the fire. Turn false, or just like do our callback. Like if it just starts console logging other stuff, then that's fine, that works too. Hey, it's a little faster. Still true. Nothing but true. And now false, please. No. Nothing. It's not even logging from our function, or which I sincerely hope we're logging from. Yeah, console log touching. So that's what we're hoping to see, but nothing. Huh. Alright. Starting to run out of juice. Maybe just as a thought, change it to all the portals instead of just the warp portal, and not even bother with that warp portal stuff. Maybe it's meant to be an array. Maybe that's what it expects. The docs could tell me that, but I closed them. Oh, warp portal was not defined. Sounds a little too aggressive for my taste right now.